Hello, beautiful people. Happy Wednesday. Thank you for joining us tonight. I see so many of you have been in the chat since like 6:50. That's amazing. So thank you for
Thank you.
showing love and being here. As you can see, I don't have Benson with me. I have beautiful Corianne. Hi, Corianne. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so glad to have you here tonight. Corianne is an astroflipping for those of you who don't know her. Um, Corianne, you just want to like tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got into real estate, how you got into astro, something like that.
Sure. A little bit of the backstory is I am an artist by profession. That's what I studied in school. That's where I met my husband, who is also an artist. In about late 2018, my mom took me to a wholesaling weekend conference, which is where I got like used to the idea of what real estate was. And it aligned in a time where I was noticing changes in my environment and how a lot of artists had no idea how to purchase homes or how to create any stability in their finances and that kind of thing. So I just like jumped full force into trying to understand wholesaling. And it was definitely a bumpy ride at first. Um, but in, gosh, what year was it? 2021, I bought my first flip and I bought it from Michelle. So Michelle Garabito, shout out to her. And she like, I came back from a conference in Vegas and I was all fired up and she like encouraged me on this deal and I bought it. And it was like really jumping into it. And we became pretty fast friends. And I saw her wholesaling like crazy, as anybody
Yeah.
knows. She's really good at what she does. And I called her up and I was like, how are you lapping me? Like, I have spent 2.5 years falling on my face, like every failure you can imagine, looking every direction possible. And you are like lapping me. What are you doing? And of course, she told me about Jamil. And I grilled her on that because I had paid a lot of different coaches before to try to help me and kind of pinpoint where I was falling.
Yeah.
And I was nervous to do it again. I was like, where am I going to get results? But she is the master griller of all. So I know Jamil got it from her and I gave it to her as well. So I joined Astro Flipping, met a lot of really cool people. And that's where I took off because especially at the end of last year, I found my team and my people. And they are just like they're my perfect puzzle people because what they allow me to do is just make relationships and get to meet people and get to help people, and they handle the texting or the background stuff or the comping, or even just like when I'm not feeling it, they lift me up and tell me I can go do it. So having that has just been amazing over the last about 6 months, and that's really when wholesaling has taken off for me. Also in I think it was at the end of 2021, I got my license. So my first flip I listed, and getting my license also filled in a few gaps of like things I needed to know.
Nice.
That's pretty
Nice. That's
long
amazing.
short of it.
I love that. I love that. I feel like a lot of people here tonight can relate. Guys, go ahead in the side chat and put like what level you feel you're at on like investor scale. So like, are you feeling like a beginner, intermediate, advanced? Let us know. But let's talk to the beginners for a second, Corian, because you said like you had bounced around everywhere a lot. Like, what is something that you could like share with those people that feel like they are there right now?
Ooh. Um, Decide and make a decision because you can't make the wrong one. I read recently in a really fabulous book about time that making a decision or settling is actually one of the best things you can do for a happy life. Because, for example, if I thought about my husband, did I settle? Sure. I decided he was the one and I married him. And I could be looking in other directions, going like, oh, is that person better? But if I was doing that instead of like committing to the settle, I would go nuts. And that's what you have to do in wholesaling. Like settle on one aspect for now so that you can be the best at it. And then you're bringing so much value to so many other people that you'll learn all the rest of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, go decide something. Whatever it is, decide it today.
Whatever it is, just make a decision.
Right?
And honestly, like the power that you have when you make a decision, that's very powerful, and that like tells the universe what direction you want to go in, and then when you take action into that direction, the universe will naturally respond and give you what you want. So speaking of, direction, so we are going to be doing MLS outreach tonight. For the beginners and that people who came to learn that, do you want to explain to them what that is and how you do it every day and what that looks like?
Sure. So on market searching, I'm looking for properties that are distressed or have been sitting on market for a while, which normally is telling me that there's some form of motivation. And I'm reaching out to that agent. I'm seeing what that seller needs and seeing if me and my buyers can suit that need. So just anything that's already on market that other agents have put out there.
Yeah. So for somebody who's going to start this out today, what numbers would you recommend them hitting every day?
Ooh. I like that question because it really varies. And I would even say that like I'm not great at numbers. Like if you get on the Astro Elite page, you can see some serious awesome KPIs where they're on top of it. But the reason I have my team and Daryl Arias specifically is so that somebody else is sending out texts for me and making initial calls so that my numbers are pretty low, but they're impactful when they happen. So I think you always have to kind of gauge whether or not you're making impact or whether you're just making numbers when you're
like
thinking about KPIs. But overall, I would say that you should be evaluating maybe 12 really good, exciting deals a week to land somewhere in 4 to 3 solid offers. And those solid offers, I would expect to get at least 2 under contract. But that's because I'm already like I'm not putting a lot of offers out daily. I'm putting out offers that I have warmed up for a long time. So they're more impactful.
That's awesome.
Can I shout out Mahmood? If you
Yes.
don't know him, because he's the one that knows the numbers. Like I would even steal his when it comes down to like what numbers to hit daily and what might come out of that. He's got a great mind for it.
Yeah, Mahmood he's a genius. The way that his brain works is like next level, truly. We have a lot of content with Mahmood on Jamil's YouTube channel. If you guys go back in the lives, you can check him out there.
Yeah, you will find him. And the like beauty of it is that he has that engineer's mind and I do not. I'm a painter. I have the creative mind, I have the relationship mind, and we both wholesale. So you can do
That
it too.
says a lot. That says a lot right there. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to pull up Privy. If you guys don't know, Privy is a really awesome platform for finding hot wholesale deals. You can find cash buyers. It pulls comps for you. So that makes that aspect really easy to learn if you are a beginner. You can work alongside us today at runprivy.com. And if you type in DAMG5, you'll get a sweet little discount because we love to take care of you guys. So Corianne, do you
Yes.
want to walk, like we can go through some active listings and, just go through some that catch your eye and tell us if you would call on it, if you wouldn't, and explain some numbers to us, like really just let us into your inner world so we can learn from you of what a good deal is. And then let's call some.
Sure. So I'm just going to start with Fort Collins. The reason I'm choosing Fort Collins is because it is not the main metro of the area like Boulder, Colorado Springs, or Denver, but it is a offset that is still very active when it comes to buyers. And very specifically, I have a great buyer there who I trust very much with numbers. So I like looking there. I'm going to start with single family and attached. Multifamily in this area because it's also a college town, possible, but not really my thing and definitely not my buyer's thing. So I want to know what's active and I want it to be a fix and flip. The other aspect of that, ARV, I leave at 75. Like we can narrow these down more after I see what's going on there. But keeping it at that basic is totally fine with me when I run an initial search.
Cool.
Boom. So I am definitely seeing nice properties.
And are those wholesale deals?
No. So you keep asking these questions. You gotta like catch me. So honestly, if I see white and gray, gonna scroll right past immediately because that is the hippest thing possible in the last 10 years. I did it on my flip. I painted it white with gray trim. It's like putting out a sign. I flipped this. So no to that one. No to the next one. Also, another aspect of this is that it's only been listed for 0 days. Generally, if I'm calling on a property that's like within 0 days of being listed, I have to have some kind of connection already and motivation that they want to move quickly. Because normally, if somebody's going to go list a property, they understand that this is going to take about 30 to 60 days. They're ready to punch it out with some good numbers. They're hoping for multiple offers. They're not going to like the fact that for me to bring value to my buyers, it needs to be below list.
Yeah.
So already with it being 0 days, that's like not for me. In fact, let's flip the results by sold date. I want some oldies. That didn't do it. Let me try again. There we go.
And so when they're on market longer, what benefits does that give you as a wholesaler?
So if it's on market longer, it's going to be something that, I mean, at that point, something has graded that seller. Whether it's another wholesaler or a traditional buyer, they have received feedback from what's actually happening in the area. And that's how I function. I function off the data that's going on. So if they listed and stayed listed for too long, something's wrong with the data that they originally received, probably from their listing agent. And
Yeah.
now they might be ready to hear some new data.
Yep.
That's an aspect. Let's click on this since it's so old and there's no photos. That's kind of exciting. I don't know what's going on in the area. Okay, sorry. I'm going to try to keep learning to be somebody that talks out loud on what I'm doing. So the first thing I'm thinking is there's no photos, which is a good sign when something's listed and there's no photos. So I just want to know what's happening in the area, because if there's nothing in this neighborhood, then I'm probably going to move on.
Okay.
It's already sold in the neighborhood, which is great. So I scroll down to my comparables. I personally like to see all. It's always great to know whether there's investor activity. So sometimes I come in here and I just go, is this any investors? No. Okay. That doesn't mean that it's an area that's off limits. It does mean that I'm going to have to make sure my comps are really good. So now I'm going to go to all activity. Voila. And see, look, it gave me investor properties now. That's why I like all activity. Okay.
And so you guys see what I mean? Privy will literally pull the comparables in the area, and then you can just narrow it down from there. It's freaking awesome.
Yeah, because for example, this is a major road. I'm not going to cross that road. So I can, if there's something very specific about a neighborhood, I'm going to pull into that neighborhood and only know what's going on there. This is super important for Florida. I'm relatively new to the Florida market, and luckily I've had many beautiful people hold my hand there and have had a lot of success there. But you've got to narrow it down to like exactly what area.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to just zoom in. I'm not going to actually do the work of circling, but it's possible.
Jamil is in the chat. You got to say hi.
Oh my gosh, I just
Jamil
realized,
is watching us.
oh my goodness. It's going in the journal later. Don't worry. Oh, thanks, Jamil. I just realized that I was looking at our private chat and not the comments the whole time, and I'm a little like,
oh no, it's okay.
How beautiful this is. Real quick for Carlos out there, where it asking if there's any Chicago or do Chicago. Are you licensed or do you have a good licensee? Because you've got to have that in Illinois. I'm happy to look there. I'm not licensed there. Definitely want to be. So I can go off on rambles. Let's find a deal. This is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. Ooh, smallest in the neighborhood. I'm itching to call somebody. Let's just call them.
Let's just call. Let's just find out.
Yeah, I mean, what the heck is happening here?
How long did it say it was listed?
Like 176 days.
Holy moly.
Yeah. Sorry, I gotta find where the number is.
No, you're all good.
Well, if the agent doesn't have a posted number, that could be a part of the problem.
That very well could be the problem. Jeremy, we aren't doing any requested comps tonight, but if you show up this Sunday to Jamil's YouTube channel, we're gonna do straight out of comp, and Jamil will comp your deals there, my friend. That is at 5 p.m. PST.
I favorited that to come back to, but because there's nothing posted, I don't trust that the public data is actually correct. And then the other aspect of that is I always suspect that it might be one of those I'll pay $100 and you'll list it properties, but I'm actually dealing with the seller. Totally different thing. But that's out there in the world. Like sometimes when it's hard to get a hold of an agent, what you're actually dealing with is like a website program that lists it on the MLS and doesn't do the actual work.
Okay.
So I'm going to keep looking. And these are new builds, not for me.
KJ asked, I live in a small town where the population is, or I live in a town where the population is 30K. Should I wholesale virtual or still try to find good deals here?
Okay, so 2 parts to that. To wholesale anywhere, you need buyers. So if your population, your town of 30,000 people has buyers in it, then yes, you can wholesale there. But I would go and make sure that there are people that are flipping and making those kinds of actions in your town before taking that kind of step. Probably better for you is going to be a metro that's nearby. And I am like the perfect example of this because I live in a town of 121 people. And I would love to be the kind of person that's coming in and helping buy Main Street businesses and flipping in my local neighborhood. But first I got to get, good at doing it elsewhere. So that's why I wholesale. And that's why I go to Denver, Colorado Springs. They're about 3 hours away from me.
That's
Hope that
awesome.
answers the question.
Yeah,
And I totally stopped moving on Privy. So now I need to go back to that. I talk with my hands.
You're totally fine. I'll stop asking you questions.
No, I like it. Honestly, it kind of distracts from the fact that I wasn't as prepared on Privy as I should have been. But you mentioned that I might get to come back. So there's always more calls to be made.
Oh, heck yeah. We will definitely have you back anytime you want to come back.
I clicked on a property earlier. People might have seen it was like a clear flip. That's why I kept scrolling.
Oh, what about this one?
This is an attempted flip, as I like to call them.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. No, that's a definite. I bet you I can prove it in the previous sale. No, not in the previous sale, but definitely not something that like my buyers can come in and add value to. And somewhere like Fort Collins, this is at the top of its area.
Oh, okay. So they didn't really need to go all out.
No, they didn't. It's a college-ish area, so you can almost bet that you're going to find a family that wants to buy it so that their kid can stay there, that kind of vibe.
Okay.
Awesome. I love seeing plants and photos. What that tells me is it's not staged, that kind of thing, or it's attempted to be staged, which they're covering things with their plants. It's one of my favorite things.
Little pro tip for you guys.
Yeah. It's cute. It's in the neighborhood. All things that have sold in the area. Okay, so this one, it's what I would call like a retail, because it could be sold to a family with 2.5 kids. There's nothing terribly wrong with it, but I'm still going to check and see like, okay, is there some negotiation room for me to drop this somewhere? So I would pull up what's happening in the area. There is the one investor activity, but it's not even on my side. And when I'm looking on my side, I can see that if you're at 689 above my property, it's sat there. If you're way below my subject property at 430, 460, even 538, let's see if this was nice on the inside. Very nice on the inside. Not like full rehab, but it has stainless steel appliances. Okay, we're at the top of the market. Like 540 is probably closer to ARV on this than it is actually a deal for my buyers. So I move on.
On to the next.
Yes. Emily, you call it if I'm like not finding deals fast enough and need to make calls, because I'll pull up a list too.
Okay.
This is looking promising though, but maybe overpriced. So 19 days is not very long to know that there's going to be negotiation room right now with days on market in Colorado. That's huge to all of the newbies out there. If you can find out what your market's days on market is, you want to know that, because that would be a signal as to whether or not it's a distressed or motivated property if it's past whatever those days on market are for your area. Here, it's like really 30 to 50 at most, but most things are picked up from 20 to 30 days. So I'm getting close to an area to potentially negotiate. Whew, investors love this area. Oh, okay. It's not already flipped, which is a good sign. I want to see. Oh, spontaneous rain in the mountains. It's happening right now, and it's fantastic.
Wait, where do you live?
I live in Moffett, Colorado. It's the North San Luis Valley, which is over by the Great Sand Dunes National Park.
Nice. So would you just like call on this to just yeah, what should we just call and like see where they're at?
Totally. Yeah. One of my favorite things to do is comp with the agent so that they are doing a lot of the work for me.
I love that.
Or they're realizing that I'm right and they're wrong. Either one is fine.
Exactly. Exactly.
Alrighty. Alyssa Kaplan. I've spoken to her before, but is she in my phone? This is for somebody who like calls daily. Feel free to steal this one from me. I put my phone on a tripod and I just
I wondered if that's what you were doing over there.
Like, yeah, I'm poking at my phone.
I love it.
For training and quality purposes.
Can you hear the music?
Is it the ringtone?
To rent one of our properties, please make sure to visit our website to check out our rental criteria for approval and our requirements for application before you apply. Thank you.
This tells me this isn't actually this lady's cell phone number, so I'm going to see if I can find it. Headquarters phone. No, that's not what I need.
Please stay on the line while we connect you to the next available agent.
Should we Google her name?
This is important to us, so thank you for your...
When it says we'll connect you to the next available agent, so often that's like one of those online platforms where you'll get somebody who's not really the listing agent. blah, 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 which could explain why this is sitting on market, but I'm not willing to give up. So Melissa Kaplan Realtor, when I Google it, I found somebody in Florida, not the right spot. There she is. Is that the number I called? Yes, it is. Sneaky. I'm like Googling the realtor's name. I'm Googling the city they're in, and I'm Googling cell phone, all in one nice long line, and just checking to see where they are out there. And yeah, that is the only phone she has listed. So my next best option is either to sit there on the phone. Normally, I'd probably hop off and just like immediately text, because this is what she has listed as the phone. It probably goes somewhere to like an assistant or something, and then she actually calls me back.
Dang.
I know. Come on. We've been looking for deals, Melissa.
Come on, Melissa.
I'm going to favor that.
Out there.
Bug her later. We'll just jump down here. This is looking like perfectly ugly on the outside.
It really is.
Practically ugly in every way.
It is exactly what I'm looking for.
Right. This is like a fab, like wholesale. Come in, painted. It already has nice appliances. Fix a few things so it's got that white and gray aesthetic, and then put it back up on the listing. I want to see what comparables are in the area. Ooh, I already have one investor. What's that investor up to? That's a much older property. Slightly bigger lot. Something to note, this build type in Colorado, shout out to the Coloradans that are wholesaling, this is a craftsman of sorts. It like for some reason just gets that extra little bump. Everybody wants to be in one of these. So don't use this as your like golden comp for something like what I'm looking at. It will not work. So sold. Let's go to all.
Yeah, if you guys want Jamil's appraisal rules, which has pretty much what Corianne is talking about for comping, go ahead and text this number, the word rules, and I will send you a copy.
And if you don't have that copy, definitely do it, because it's going to help with your comping confidence and help you adjust, because there's no like absolute perfect comp every time. So you have to adjust. This is really interesting. This, like, you see this giant circle of no sales around this?
Yeah.
Oh, what does that mean? If this was more city central, I would probably immediately look up this property in something like spotcrime.com, just to find out, like, is this maybe an area that, like, you know, off a block and you're in the wrong spot? Possibly, but not giving up. I want to go to all solds. When I go to all solds and when I'm having to deal with a field this big, I'm always going to go to solds and make sure that I'm filtering by the most recent sales in the area, because I want a general, like, seeing this many properties in a row can be overwhelming, but you might also get a general sense of exactly what's happening within those months. So this can be really great market research. For example, I want to know why this sold for $550 and then resold at $800. So Privy is like automatically giving you this information. This is why Privy is so cool, and why I, as a realtor who has access to the MLS, who can comp like any other realtor, still comps here, because it's great to see, okay, like, I don't know whether this is a flip yet or not, but I can see that it's still resold in a short time period for $300K more. So I want to see it. Is that the one? Yep. So first, quick confirmation, they did paint it white. It is a flip. I've got all sorts of nice finishes. They went top of the line for the possible area. Great. I will also note that for the repair budget, because of how nice this is versus where they got it at, I just like keep that in mind when I'm looking at whatever my subject property is. Dude, this was a solid flip. What a nice profit margin. What was our time frame here? Okay, that is one big part of it. It was a long-term flip, so they might have lived in it. They might have updated it for themselves and then needed to get out of the area. So I can't guarantee this is a buyer or like a flipper specifically. But I can guarantee that if I brought somebody something with a 69% of a verified ARV comp, that they would be very happy with me. So I just need to verify whether this one that I have can possibly, sorry, I got to go back, can possibly ever sell for 800. So where is that 800 comp?
See, Rose asked, does Privy have a monthly plan or is it yearly? So you can do both. With the code DAMG5, you'll get 20% off your first month, but for the annual, you'll get 30% off. And honestly, the annual you get with the code, you get a couple free courses from Benson, you get like a list, you get a lot of free stuff, and then you're also grandfathered into that price because Privy is changing their pricing. I don't know what that's going to look like. Benson hasn't told me any of that, but if you do buy the annual, you are grandfathered in, so you won't have to worry about it.
I'm going to call this one. Just find out what they know.
Hi, you've reached Josh Dowling with Elevation Real Estate. Sorry I missed you. Please leave me a message and I will get back with you.
I could leave a message. I rarely do because most people my age or around my age would much prefer a text. So in most situations, I'm going to follow that up with a quick text and my card, which is what I should do so that they don't just feel lost with my number. So I also think I got a text from that other agent. So this was
really?
like a little texting moment, and I will try to be vocal about it.
Kevin,
So
sorry, one thing. Kevin, you only get those bonuses if you use the code DAMG5. Okay, go ahead, Corian.
So I always drop my card. If my card didn't have my face, it wouldn't have as much value. But the whole point is to show that I'm smiling and kind and like not a robot. So, hey, Josh, my name is Corian with my company name. If I can type. My team member, Paula, she has a great way of she just copies it when she types it on her computer and then texts it over. It's really smart.
Oh, I love that.
I was looking at 405 North Roosevelt Avenue.
Sebastian said, I like this so much. Thank you for this information. Yes, thank you, Corian.
Yay, I'm glad it's helpful. Text you're available. Spell your right. That's important. Okay, send. That's sent. I want to see if this is the agent I had just called. It isn't. That's fine. Okay. So we're going to keep moving on.
Alexander said, is it common to text people who don't answer or no?
Is it common or not? I can't really speak to is it common because I have yet to kind of take the polls on that one. But I have noticed that hits better for the agents that I'm working with. And I guess like as an agent myself, I say it definitely does, because voicemails are easy for me to ignore. They take up my time to listen to, and then I have to like deduce how I'm going to respond. If I have somebody new, they're like a fresh face come to me on a card with information about who they are, and then a text telling me why they called, I'm going to get back to them in whatever way is convenient for me fastest. So whether that's like, oh yeah, I need to call this person back, or whether that's that property is no longer available, either one, I get to my answer much faster that way.
Yeah.
I'll make it common if it is not yet.
One more question. AG said, what do you say to when an agent responds with all the information is in the listing?
Oh, that one is a good one. And first off, like you already know that like you know how that agent speaks. They like quick, fast information. They're somebody I would call a processor who likes the details, likes them quickly, and doesn't like fluff. They're not going to tell you how they feel. Like I would, I feel so good about that. No, not these types of people. So you want to communicate in their way. And what I would do in that situation is go, I haven't spent enough time looking at that. Let me take a look and I'll come back to you with questions. Just because what that says is I hear what you need. I need to find out if this is the right fit for me. And then I will call back and I'll say, I think this might be a good fit for my investment portfolio. Here's what I need to know to be able to decide on what kind of offer I give. Also, I'd really like to be the best kind of buyer you can have for your seller. So if there's any additional information that you would have on what this seller needs in terms or about their property, I would love to know.
Heck yeah. Mic drop.
Yeah, because I mean, like their job is to sell the property. They think that the best way to sell the property is to be quick and abrupt. Okay, not my communication style, but I will adjust and I'll hit you with it back.
Yeah, like Jamil always says, align yourself with the agent. So emotional intelligence, kind of see where they're at and match it with kindness.
I like it. I'm like, I'll hit them back. And I mean align with them is really what I mean.
Align, yes. That's what she meant.
Okay. So I was looking at this and going, it's not good photos. And when I notice it's not good photos, sometimes I'm like, well, maybe there's some room to add value or do something. I can immediately tell it's probably not in this property yet because there's 9 days and because of these nicer finishes, they want top of market in this area. I can confirm that right now based off comparables is around 500s. So we're already not going to align, and I'm not going to try to push something that they're not at yet. So moving on. That's way too nice. Ooh, ugly green. Tell me more.
Oh, wow.
I know. I really like the color green. This is close to being a good green, and it's just like 2 shades off in Home Depot. But when I pull up Privy immediately, if you see this, the little before and after, it means it's flagged it as a somewhat recent transaction. So I almost always don't even like read or look at the photos. I just go, when and what happened? Perfect. So I can see already that even though this is green, it is an intentional choice from a flipper in the area. And I wish them all the luck in the whole wide world. Because some people really do like that color, and I really mean it, but that's not my kind of property.
Yeah.
So
I feel like it narrows down like the buyer too much, like the potential homeowner. I personally wouldn't do it if I was a flipper.
This is very much clearly a cool opportunity. And the reason I can tell it's a cool opportunity so quickly is like this. Can you see my cursor?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I am circling this 70s vibe and all the wood behind it that's in the kitchen. So Comparables. It's a 1 day on market, so I already know that in Colorado I'm going to be up against competition, but you never know what's going on. So investment activity, 2 in the area. 1 has sold and 1 has not. Let's see why. Did I click on the right property? I feel like I went rogue. No, I did. Okay. This is, like, in my opinion, not quite investor move, like flip. But it did sell, sold in September of last year. I'm like on the edge of a good comp. What is the one behind it? This one. Only been active for 2 days. Also not flipped. Very interesting. Let's find out what the agent knows, what they think. Todd Sledge.
All righty. Pick up the phone, Todd. Let's go.
Todd, I want to talk to you so bad. I set my intentions that you want to sell this to me.
Yes.
You want to talk to me today because you just got a new listing.
Hi, this is Todd Sledge with the Group Real Estate. Sorry, I missed your call. Leave me a message or shoot me a text, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible.
At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey, Todd, my name is Corey Ann. I am calling because I was checking out your sweet listing at 825 Parkview Drive in Fort Collins. I would love to learn more, pick your brain, and see if I can put in an offer. Please give me a call or text back whenever it's convenient for you. Thank you. There's a voicemail. Let's test the theory. I'm guessing Todd is going to get back faster just because it's a newer listing, no matter what, but no text sent to Todd. We'll see. All right. Favorite, so I can find quickly. Call me back. 2 new.
What time is it in Colorado right now?
5:44, and most Coloradans are pretty much done at like 4:35 because we're very outdoorsy, family, dog oriented. But I mean, y'all call at like 8 p.m. sometimes, so depending on where.
You're like, I see you guys live.
Let's go somewhere else because Fort Collins is not doing it for me today.
Okay, yeah. Let's hop somewhere else. We got to show the people some calls.
Todd.
It's Todd.
All right. Which is great because now I need to go back very quickly to where I was. Hey, Todd, this is Corey Ann.
Corey Ann, how are you?
I'm doing well. I already jumped off the tab where I was looking at your property, so I'm jumping back right now. What is the scoop?
So the seller actually just accepted an offer about an hour ago. So yeah, we would do a backup offer if you wanted, but that's the situation with that one.
Well, thank you for letting me know. Congratulations. Isn't it day 1 on the listing?
2, it came on yesterday afternoon, so technically day 2.
Congrats on a great listing. Awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Do you have any other distressed properties that I might be able to look at? Any good flips on your desk?
Not at the moment. Will you text me your email address though, and let me look into that?
Absolutely. And if you will hit me back with your email, that would be great. And I'll send you a little bit more about what I'm looking for.
Okay, that'll be awesome.
Awesome. Thanks, Todd. I'll talk to you later. You have a great evening.
That sounds great. As soon as I get your text, I'll text you back.
Thank you. Bye.
Have a good night.
All right. Quickness is the name of the game in real estate, so I'm going to text him quickly.
Yeah, I even said in the chat, I was like, Corianne said that it would be competitive because it was just listed.
Thank you, Todd. Thank you for your time. For newbies, the best thing you can do is use somebody's name often and type it. Thank you for your time, Todd. Corianne.
Yeah, I love that. That makes it all the more personal. And guys, if you notice, like when Todd was calling her back, she wasn't necessarily ready. Like she didn't even have the listing up, but like that's totally fine. She still took the call and she was like, Todd, I just got off the listing, and like, so just don't overthink things. Just call or just answer and call and just be yourself and just go with the flow. We're all humans, and most agents, they're going to be totally chill. I just wanted to put that out there.
Is better for you. I mean, it is actually better for you to sound like you are doing something and have a life and moving about than I sit here and I call you and you are just one of my many calls. Like because it says like, hey, yeah, I'm taking the time for you. Absolutely. And the more real you can be as a person in general is fantastic, because so that gives people like the ability to just emotionally connect. I've been on the phone before and been like, I like cut people off and gone, I am so sorry. I'm seeing my dog run away from my property. I have to go get them, but I'll give you a call right back. And I hang up on them and I go handle whatever I got to do because my dog is literally running away. And then I call them back and I'm like, I'm so sorry. Isn't life crazy? And they go, yes, life is crazy. And now we have rapport. And they're going to think of me next time. And often when they call next time, especially if they're a good realtor, they're going to say, how's your dog?
I love that.
So,
yes.
all right.
100%. All right. Where are we moving to? Aurora?
I was thinking Aurora, but now I'm actually thinking Denver. Let's just do Denver proper. I'm going to set better filters this time. Come on, girl.
AJ said, the old dog running away trick, eh?
Yeah, right. Well, actually, though, yes, very much so. It can be a trick used. And I never like to outright lie, but most of the time it's some form of the truth if somebody is rambling. And unfortunately, there is a stereotype, and it is true that there are a lot of older women that are realtors and they like to talk a lot, and they're just starting to talk about things that are nowhere near deals. And I love rapport, but I don't love wasting time.
Yeah.
And so at a certain point, you do have to recognize it, and you have to be able to say, I'm so sorry. I am getting a call right now, and I've really appreciated your time. I'm going to send you a text. Can't wait to talk again. Click. One, because you are in control of your time, you are in control of your phone, and that's not rude. Especially a realtor is going to think, heck yeah, I've got to take calls too. Like, to some extent, that just says like, I hear you, but I'm business.
Yep.
And you want some of that.
Mm-hmm.
Fix and flips. Emily, because I work backwards, I work like relationally, and then I pull my deals into here. How can I better filter so that I'm not looking at new builds?
Shoot.
I
I don't know.
you.
I don't know. I usually, honestly, I just hit run search.
Okay, great. We're very similar. Perfect. We're just going to roll with it though. But I do need to be on here with Benson because I want to be like, I want his hand to guide me.
Yeah. He is so smooth with it.
Really is. Okay, same thing though. I'm definitely going to reverse by days on market. And again, I filtered incorrectly, but let's try. All right. Man. So real quick on this, I hate seeing this.
Oh, wait, can you just click the deals button up there by filter? Doesn't that show deals, like active deals?
I'm pretty sure, let's find out here, that this is going to show me where buyers are moving, but that might be because that's how my filters are set.
And then can you click find?
Well, that's a big part of it. Let's fix that.
Oh, you're unsold. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I do. I hit deals and then I hit find,
Cool.
the green button.
Oh, nice. I think I clicked it and it's working.
There. Yeah, and then what is it giving us? Is it giving us original condition?
Mm-hmm. No, I'm doing something wrong on the search part. Let's see if this is original condition. I'm like actively looking for buyers. Even the universe is just like trying to push me towards them.
Oh, wow, you are in your business right now.
Yes, absolutely. I just cannot help it. I'm going to go back to this and go Privy preferred only, because that's an awesome way to filter down a lot of things going on. Includes surrounding areas, things that are active. Let's try again. Ooh, already looking uglier. That's good.
There we go.
Stainless steel appliances. Also, I happen to know Inglewood is pretty close to that as a price point. So I'm going to...
Corianne, where can people find you? Like on social media?
You can find me at Corianne Wright on Instagram and both Facebook. I'm pretty easy to find on Facebook because my name is a little unique, and then I'm not creative on my Instagram handle.
Yeah, guys, and if you look, her handle is right under her pretty face.
I don't know. Work on it.
Honestly, if we don't get an agent on the phone today, I'm totally fine with it because we gave a lot of value either way. You are a gem. This is going to be a good episode for people to catch on the replay if they weren't here live.
Thank you. I'm so glad to hear that. And yeah, I really have a heart for bringing that value. So hit me up on IG if you've got questions. And then, ooh, this is ugly. Like, I just have fun because like shopping for homes and like what I call personal shopping for buyers, it's so much fun. So like, this is definitely ugly. And I hope I can come back. And next time I will come back with lists in Privy, so I will be more prepared.
Heck yeah. Should we just try this one?
Yeah.
Let's just try. Maybe we can get him on the phone because this is definitely dated, sister.
It's the final countdown. Linda Nixon, cool. I got an email from Todd, by the way, so now I'm just going to email him what I am looking for, and I'll probably get a deal from him sometime in the next week.
Yeah, he seemed like he was on it, that agent.
He called back within 3 minutes, and that's like the traditional rule. Or at least it felt like he did.
Hi, I'm sorry I missed your call, but if you leave your name and number, I'll get back with you. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hi, Linda. My name is Corianne, and I was checking out your listing at 7280 South Broadway in Centennial. If you'll please give me a call or text back, I've got a lot of questions and interested in putting in an offer. Thank you so much. Looking forward to talking soon. All right.
Well,
was there any like questions I missed? Because like I didn't pay attention at all to the comments.
I mostly asked a lot of them to you. Mark just asked this one. Do you usually offer asking or do you usually discount the asking price?
Yes. So first off, if it's listed, which is what we would consider an asking price, I'm never, ever going to offer what it's listed at. And I will be very honest with the agent about that when in the conversation. I'll be like, I'm not going to hit that number. Do you want to see an offer below it? Because my whole job is to bring value to flippers, buyers, my connections in regards to that. And if I'm bringing them something at list price, I'm bringing literally no value. Why pay me? I know, it's so sad. But if I'm good at figuring out what the correct number should be, explaining that to the agent, negotiating, taking the time to go back and forth for a week until they actually accept where it needs to be at, then I am bringing immense value. And there's a reason I should be walking away with that wholesale check. So never at list. Now, when it comes to what I know is the max allowable offer, or what people are going to call your MAO, if I know what that number is, I rarely ever hit them with that number. I'm normally going to hit them at 5 or 10K right below that number, because the chances of them actively negotiating before I even get it under contract to land where my MAO is very high. Because it's their job as a listing agent is to get just a few more thousand for their seller. So why wouldn't I bake in that win? And if they don't do that, if they're not going to negotiate back and forth for that extra 5K, then I just made an extra 5K for me, my partners, my dispo, whoever it might be.
Exactly.
That's the answer to that question.
I saw some of you really wanted to see an agent call. If you want to see an agent call tonight, you can go back to the previous episodes and catch some agent calls there. But if not, we will be here again live next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Can we go a little late? Because then I'll call some agents I have like on my list right now.
I can't.
Okay. She has 2 babies, y'all. You gotta take care
I'm
of them.
sorry. Usually I would, but guys, like my son has been screaming for like 20 minutes and my fiance can't calm him down. So I'm like, I have to
Oh,
off tonight. I'm sorry.
totally fine. I'm sorry to those that needed an agent call and didn't get it. Hit me up on a DM. Call me right now and you'll have your first agent call.
There we go. There we go.
All right.
Yeah, guys. Connect with Corianne on Instagram and Facebook. Get in her circle, work with her, send her deals. That's the fun of all of this. And we're going to have her back, so don't worry. And then also go ahead and get your Privy account, find your buyers, get your hot leads, and you can use code DAMG5 for a nice discount. Corianne, thank you for being here with me tonight.
It was super fun. Thank you. Thanks to everybody that was on the comments.
Thank you. And we will have Corianne back in a couple of weeks, guys. Okay, we'll see you.